time I saw a human face, it wasn't attached to a body. That's how my nightmare started. I've been a long-haul trucker for nearly 15 years. I thought I'd seen everything. The weird, the unexplained, the straight-up terrifying. When you spend most of your life driving through the night, things start to blur. Shadows stretch in ways they shouldn't. Whispers slip through the static on your radio. And sometimes, when you glance in your side mirror, something looks back. Most truckers have stories. They share them in hushed tones at truck stops, over coffee thick as sludge, their eyes darting like they expect something to be listening. I used to laugh them off. Now, I wish I hadn't, because some things, once you see them, never stop following you. It was a bitterly cold night, the kind of cold that numbs your hands even through thick gloves. I was hauling a load of frozen meat across the Midwest, cutting through a quiet stretch of Highway 61. The road was deserted, not a single car for miles, just me, my truck, and the endless dark. Then I saw her, a woman in a thin white dress, standing at the edge of the road. Her hair was long, black, and unmoving despite the howling wind. Her bare feet hovered just above the cracked pavement. My stomach twisted. I'd seen hitchhikers before, but nothing like this. Something about her felt wrong. My instincts screamed at me to drive past, but my hands acted on their own. I eased off the gas. That's when she turned to face me. She had no eyes, just smooth, pale skin where they should have been. A sharp, electric jolt of fear shot through me. My chest tightened, and the truck felt too small, too hot, too suffocating. My foot slammed the pedal to the floor. The truck roared past her. But then, I smelled roses, not faint, not distant, overpowering, thick and cloying, like a fresh funeral bouquet shoved into my face. The scent filled the cab, drowning out the stale coffee and diesel. I checked my side mirror. She wasn't outside anymore. She was in the truck, sitting in the passenger seat. I didn't dare turn my head. My breath hitched. My peripheral vision caught the white of her dress, the strands of her hair swaying gently as if caught in a breeze. Then she spoke. Turn back. Turn back before it finds you. Her voice was soft, empty. I slammed my foot down on the gas, my hands trembling on the wheel. My truck swerved violently. The tires skidded. The headlights swept across the road. And for a split second, I thought I was going to flip, and then she was gone. The seat beside me was empty, but my fear stayed. And I knew, deep in my gut, that she hadn't been a hallucination. She had been a warning. My heart hammered as I sped through the night. I needed to stop, to pull over, to breathe. But then, I saw him. A man standing in the middle of the road. No flashlight, no car nearby. Just standing. I yanked the wheel to avoid him. My tires skidded, and the truck fishtailed, barely missing him. My body lurched against the seatbelt, and then I made the mistake of looking in my mirror. He was still there, but he hadn't moved, and he wasn't standing anymore. He was hanging, suspended in the air, his head tilted at an unnatural angle, neck twisted as if snapped. His feet didn't touch the ground, and in his hand he held something, a severed head, my own severed head. A violent shudder tore through me. My stomach churned. I turned away, gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. And then I hit him. Or at least I should have. There was no impact, no sound. I looked back. The road was empty. But the stench remained. A thick, overwhelming rot filled my truck, clinging to my clothes, seeping into my lungs. I gagged, rolling down the window, gasping for fresh air. Then my radio crackled. "You shouldn't be here." The voice wasn't my dispatcher's. It was mine. The static screeched, a garbled, distorted version of me whispering through the speakers. "You need to leave. It knows you're here." I ripped the radio cord out. The whispering didn't stop, and then I heard breathing, slow, heavy, right behind me. I didn't look in the mirror. I just kept driving. I reached a truck stop an hour later, desperate for safety. I pulled in under the buzzing fluorescent lights, the familiar hum of engines and distant chatter grounding me. Then I saw a warehouse. But it wasn't supposed to be there. I knew this truck stop. I had been here before. There was no warehouse. But now it loomed in the fog, its rusted metal siding stained with something dark. My GPS flickered. The warehouse was marked as my destination. I checked my manifest. No delivery was scheduled here. But my truck thought otherwise. The headlights dimmed. The engine stuttered. The temperature inside the cab dropped so fast frost formed on the glass. And then I saw her again, the woman in white. Standing at the warehouse doors, her dress no longer pure. It was soaked in red. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Then the screaming started. Not from her, from inside the warehouse, from inside my own truck. The trailer doors rattled violently, the metal groaning as if something massive was pressing against them. I turned off the engine. The screaming didn't stop. Then, before I could react, the trailer doors burst open. Something crawled out. I don't remember leaving. One moment I was staring at that thing. Its limbs twisted in ways that bones shouldn't bend. Its eyes black pits swallowing the light. The next, I was miles away, parked at another rest stop, my knuckles bruised and bloody from gripping the wheel too hard. I checked my trailer. It was empty. The frozen meat was gone. Only one thing remained, a single handprint on the inside of the truck door. Too long, too thin, not human. I've avoided that highway ever since, changed my routes, skipped states just to make sure I never got close. But it doesn't matter, because no matter where I go, I still see them. The woman, the soldier, the thing that crawled out of my truck. And sometimes, when I check my side mirror, I see my own reflection, smiling back at me, but it's not me, it's not.